What if the moon was made of cheddar? Well then, the tides stop. Immediately. Ocean currents freeze into thick grease. Your blood pressure spikes. Your capillaries rupture. But that's just the appetizer. The main course is mold. Let's talk about the physics problem. Gravity doesn't care about composition. A cheese moon has the same mass, the same orbital velocity. Your calendar stays the same. But the tides are a function of density. Rock is rigid. It pulls, it pushes, the water sloshes. Cheese is porous. Its gravitational field isn't uniform. It's lumpy. It's chaotic. The precise, clockwork dance of lunar and solar tides just ends. The oceans go flat. A global pond of stagnant, greasy brine. Here's the thing. Your body is a tide pool. You are 60% saltwater, and that water is governed by the same lunar rhythm. Your circadian clock, your hormones, even the subtle pressure in your cells, all tuned to that pull. When it vanishes, your biology loses its anchor. Your heart rate variability flatlines. Your kidneys, which rely on subtle pressure gradients to filter waste, start to fail. The migraine you feel isn't a headache. It's every fluid compartment in your skull rebelling against the sudden stillness. But the real damage is structural. A cheese moon is not a stable object. Cheddar has a water activity level. It has fats. Exposed to the vacuum of space, it undergoes extreme sublimation. Water molecules boil off directly into the void, creating a tenuous, milky atmosphere. The surface freezes at -150 Celsius. The core, insulated, begins to ferment. Gas builds. Pressure rises. And then, the moon starts to sweat. Not water. Liquid fat. Whey. A slow, constant seepage of cheese oils begins to coat the lunar surface. This creates a feedback loop. The darker, oily surface absorbs more solar radiation. The temperature differentials across the lunar face become insane. One side is a frozen, pale rind. The other is a simmering, semi-liquid fondue. This is where the mold comes in. Mold spores are everywhere. In the upper atmosphere, on spacecraft, drifting on the solar wind, they find the cheese. They find a paradise. A celestial body with calories. Penicillium roqueforti establishes a beachhead in a crater. It spreads. It evolves in the low gravity, sending towering, filamentous structures kilometers high. The moon, within a year, develops a blue-green fuzz visible from your backyard telescope. It looks beautiful. It's a biological time bomb. Because mold consumes. It respires. It converts complex fats and proteins into carbon dioxide and heat. The entire moon becomes a single, breathing organism. And as it metabolizes, its mass decreases. Subtly at first. Then noticeably. Orbital mechanics are brutally precise. Mass loss means velocity change. The moon's orbit begins to decay. Not a crash. A slow, inexorable spiral. A tightening coil. And as it gets closer, its apparent size in our sky grows. It goes from a disk to a dinner plate to a vast, pockmarked fungal ceiling. Let's talk about the domestic scene. You're making pasta. The moon, now twice its normal size, casts a sharp, sour-smelling shadow through the window. The water in your pot isn't boiling right. Atmospheric pressure is dropping as the moon's gravity increases, lowering the boiling point of everything. Your pasta cooks unevenly. A trivial annoyance. Then the glass in your kitchen window bulges inward. Then it implodes. Not from impact. From differential pressure. The air inside your house is now denser than the air outside. Your eardrums pop. Your sinuses ache. Your dog starts howling. Animals feel the shift first. The microbial cloud from the moon, spores, metabolic byproducts, begins to rain down. It's a gentle, sticky precipitation. It smells like a forgotten fridge. It coats everything. Leaves can't photosynthesize under the fungal film. Crops fail. The ecological chain, from phytoplankton to blue whales, collapses into a clogged, asphyxiated mess. Now, the ocean problem returns. With the moon closer, its gravitational pull returns with a vengeance. But it's not the clean, rhythmic pull of rock. It's the erratic, lurching tug of a decomposing fungal mass. The stagnant oceans don't just slosh. They convulse. A single, continent-slapping wave rises, not a tsunami, a hydraulic bulge. It doesn't recede. It sits there. A permanent, 100-meter-high wall of greasy water parked off the coast of Chile. Florida just vanishes. Not under a wave. Under a slow, inexorable flood that never drains. Your body's tide pool biology now faces the opposite extreme. The increased gravity is like a constant full-body compression sleeve. Your heart struggles against the extra weight of your own blood. Your diaphragm muscles fatigue trying to expand your ribs. Sleep becomes impossible. Your body, stressed beyond design limits, starts cannibalizing itself. You are constantly, profoundly exhausted. Just standing up feels like a full workout. Then, the Roche limit. This is the distance where a celestial body's own gravity is overcome by the tidal forces of the planet it orbits. For a solid moon, it's a hard line. For a soft, semi-liquid cheese moon riddled with gaseous cavities, it's a zone. And we enter it. The moon doesn't explode. It deliquesces. Tidal forces exceed its own structural integrity. It starts to stretch. The fungal mats tear first, great plumes of spores jetting into space. Then the cheese itself begins to flow. It becomes a torus. A ring of warm, soft cheddar and mold, streaked with liquid fats, forming around the earth. A Saturn-style ring of dairy. The immediate effect is aesthetic. Gorgeous, really. The ring reflects sunlight at all hours. Midnight is a dim, orange twilight. No more true darkness anywhere on Earth. The circadian wreckage is complete. Global insomnia. Psychosis on a species-wide scale. The long-term effect is thermodynamic. That ring is not clean. It's a particulate shroud. It casts a permanent diffuse shadow. Earth's average temperature plummets. A new ice age begins. But it's a dirty ice age. The precipitation that falls is oily, cheesy sleet. Snowbanks reek. Glaciers are yellow. And it's still falling. Micrometeorites of cheese and fungal clumps constantly pelt the atmosphere. They burn up as shooting stars that smell like grilled cheese sandwiches. Larger chunks make it through. You're not hit by a rock. You're hit by a 2-ton semi-solid ball of mature moldy Gouda, traveling at Mach 50. It doesn't crater. It splatters. It coats entire city blocks in a hot, sticky, radioactive paste. Human civilization doesn't end with a bang. It ends with a slow, pervasive spoilage. Machinery gums up. Electronics short out from the fatty, conductive residue in the air. The last internet message isn't a plea for help. It's a notification that the servers are clogged with a cheese-based biofilm. We are not conquered. We are colonized by a derivative of penicillium. The final irony is geological. All that organic matter, trillions of tons of carbon, nitrogen, fats, rains down onto the Earth over millennia. It becomes a new sedimentary layer. The Cretaceous has its limestone. The Anthropocene has its plastics. Our epoch, the Frumagaceous, would be defined by a global layer of fossilized cheese rind and mycological mats. Future archaeologists, if any evolve, would dig through a stratum that smells like a cave-aged blue. They'd find our cities preserved not in ash but in a hermetic, anaerobic tomb of fat. Our legacy isn't steel or glass. It's a bad smell trapped in rock. If you enjoyed this, like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.